All right, hey everybody, welcome to the loving place that is Dude's Brunch. I am your host, Taylor Olmstead, here in Athens, Ohio, and over there in Cincinnati, Ohio, we have Tyler Boring Shirt Reed. Tyler, what did you
That's
have for
his
brunch
that's
this
his
morning?
post-shower shirt. Give him some credit.
I told you I wanted to be called Big Boy Burrito. What the fuck?
Okay, big boy burrito, what did you have for brunch today?
AKA Pillsbury Doughboy, AKA. Alright, I had actually quite a few things for brunch today. And Holtman's Donuts. I absolutely support Holtman's Donuts, best donuts in Cincinnati. Get wrecked, everyone else. Instead of going to 12:15, where I usually get my iced coffee, I went to Collective Espresso. Also excellent coffee, equal in awesomeness. Get wrecked, Starbucks. Then, then my wonderful girlfriend made me a smoothie. It was wonderful. And then I went to Taste of Cincinnati. Just okay. Highlight Marty's waffles. Had a sea salt caramel with some Maker's Mark whipped cream. Pretty good. It's good stuff. I could taste that liquor, and all it was good.
So it sounds like you drove all over the place for your brunch today.
No, I walked.
Oh, okay. So what you really had for brunch was environmental sustainability.
That's right.
Neat. Oh wait, greeny.
And on that note, up north in the shell of Akron, Ohio, Sean No Comment Evans, what did you have for brunch today?
I tricked myself into eating a bowl of unsweetened wheat, like mini wheats. I'd already poured them and put milk on them, and I brought them back to eat. And I sat down and put the first bite in my mouth, and I was like, big mistake. But black coffee with that. I wanted to go run, so I wasn't just woke up kind of late, and I was in a rush because I had to work today, so it wasn't that good. By far, not good. Yesterday, went out with some family friends to Wally Waffle. Get wrecked if you're not Wally Waffle and you serve waffles in the state of Ohio. And I had the churro waffle. Get the churro waffle. It's great.
So
Get on that Taco Bell. Where you at?
yes, follow up from the last
There
episode.
you go.
So down here in Athens, Ohio, I slept in today, and I woke up this morning and felt like doing minimal effort breakfast. So I also had mini wheats, but I'm a scrub, and so I had the frosted ones that you eat like a child. But they were delicious, and then I went to the coffee shop and had black coffee while I read a book about punk rock for like 4 hours.
There you go. That's how you celebrate your freedom.
Wait. So frosted mini wheats are for children?
I mean, I think frosted cereals, for the most part, are for children. Frosted
I
mini
like
wheats is kind of
frosted.
borderline because regular mini wheats taste like garbage.
Well, that's what I had. I just had regular mini wheats, and it tasted like garbage. It was just like
Taylor, Big
bland.
Fat Baby Olmstead.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But no, like Frosted Cheerios, children's cereal. Regular Cheerios, generally all ages cereal.
Okay.
We talk
You
about
heard
the
it. You heard
important
it here on
issues.
Dude's Brunch. We're reviewing cereals now.
Right.
Well, finally,
Tweet us your favorite cereal.
There you go.
somebody about a month ago tweeted at us and said, "Why don't you record this show during brunch?" And we were like, "Well, that's too hard." And they were like, "Well, then change the name of your podcast." We refuse to change.
Did someone really give us a negative comment? Why didn't I hear about this? This is amazing. We've made it, guys.
I think I may have been on Snapchat or something.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know. It was somebody interacting with me, not with the podcast. I just responded on our behalf because haters
Alright.
gonna hate.
Also, can we change Sean's nickname to Giggle Party?
Sean Giggle Party Evans. Sean's
Wait.
new Twitter handle at Giggle Party.
At Giggle Party.
Let me see if I can reserve that. Alright, let's take a look inside a book.
So while Tyler is setting up a new Twitter account for Sean, I think we should go ahead and get started with our first topic, which is actually Sean's.
So today on Giggle Party's Corner, I kind of punted this week and didn't come up with a very good topic at all. And so the topic is judge the music by its cover? Question mark. I posted this article from Smashing Magazine. I don't think there's any relation between the Smashing Pumpkins and
No, it's just a really good design magazine.
Yeah, so for those of you who are playing at home on the Smashing Pumpkins bingo card with Sean, put in a stamp for smashing something that is readable.
Can
Basically,
we
there was
pause
like
for a second? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your explanation. I want Tyler to make Dude's Brunch bingo cards that include things like Sean talks about Smashing Pumpkins. We mentioned
asked
the
who is this
Bunko
for?
cast. Yeah, exactly. Let's do it.
Submit your spaces for Dude's Rush Bingo.
We'll be the first podcast with our own bingo. This is it. This is how we're gonna make it, y'all.
So back to my
Catherine
topic
says-
before I was literally.
Actually, right before we start, since it was a derail, Catherine says, sugary cereals make life easier. Also, Fruity plus Cocoa Pebbles are gluten-free and taste actually good instead of awful. Thanks,
That's
Catherine.
true.
See,
Okay, real quick straw poll. Fruity Pebbles, chocolate Pebbles, go.
Or Chocolate Pebbles. Come on.
yeah, chocolate. I don't like fruity milk. It just sounds
chocolate
weird.
for show. All right, is there
Fruity.
anything else we can interrupt Sean with?
No.
All right, we good.
All right, go ahead, Sean.
So basically, getting back to my point before I was interrupted, the magazine gave about 30 album covers that were really good, and I mean, there was a lot, yeah, and I was going through them, and I was thinking, a lot of these albums actually did have really good music on them. I have them, and I listen to them occasionally. I have a lot of music, so it's hard to, I don't really reminisce that much, but, so my first question was, can you judge an album by its cover? Mumford & Sons' new album?
If you have no preconceived notions of who the artist is, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, we've all done that before.
Done.
We've all bought
Yeah.
albums based on the cover and then ended up loving or hating the band.
Mm-hmm.
Eveline,
Yeah, good point.
I had no idea. You're like, this is good. I was like, well, it's got a pretty album cover, and it's like $5, so I got it.
Good luck
Yeah,
finding
I
a video about him
routinely-
to post on this podcast.
About who?
Eveline.
I think they made
Yeah.
another album. It was just okay, I think. Don't quote me on that, by the way.
You'll have to give me a spelled out version of that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done that with 7 inches a lot. I mean, Sean, you bought me that 7-inch up in Akron, the Lunar Chicks, and that was pretty good.
I did?
Yeah, the one with like the punk rock chicks on it.
Oh! I have a knack for finding punk rock girl bands on 7.
Yeah, you do. But it's all buying on covers. I think you can do that.
Yeah.
It depends on the genre of music too, though.
That's a good point. I would agree with that. But I think if you like a genre, though, if you see the cover that fits that genre, it's like buying punk stuff. For us, it's pretty generally.
Yeah, the
Safe
only
bet.
exceptions I could see to that would be jazz music and dance music,
Yeah.
because jazz covers are like universally bad, and in dance music it's usually just like text on the sleeve.
Right.
When you say dance,
Like most forms of electronic dance music, whether it's EDM or trance or house or whatever, like particularly when you're looking at singles.
I strongly disagree, but that's okay.
I guess I'm more into the 2000s and 90s trance stuff that usually has plainer sleeves too.
Yeah. I mean, Coach Mob, I know Feed Me has a pretty extensive visual style. Shit, I can't think of it. I need at least one more to be legitimate. I mean, Knife Party has a pretty good visual style, which is the new project of the people in Pendulum. So
Oh, I didn't know that. I'll have to look that up.
Okay. So next question: who's a good example of a good album cover with good music, and who's an example of, I don't know, you can have it your way, either like good album cover with awful music, or awful album cover with brilliant music?
Oh man. Let me scroll through my iTunes. I'll get back to you.
Okay.
I'm just gonna flip through the ones that I'm seeing here. I mean, I don't like Coldplay, but that
Which one?
album, Viva La Vida, looks fucking sweet. You know, I know it's
I
just
thought that was one of their better albums.
I
Fight
mean,
me.
right. I mean, I'm not. I'm just saying. As a rule of thumb, I don't really like Coldplay, but
I like Coldplay.
I mean, 10,000 Days from Tool has like 3 songs on it, but you know, that album was a masterpiece in the way that it was constructed because you had the little lenses that you could look through, and there was a bunch of like 3D images that you could see.
Yeah.
So that made it an album worth getting, and I think that's something we need to consider from a design standpoint in the future, considering that we're moving towards the digital age where we don't buy physical albums as much, which is not necessarily true for me because I still buy physical albums sometimes if I really like them. But if we're gonna buy our albums digitally, we have to have a good reason to buy them physically. So doing fun things, interesting things, is gonna make it really worthwhile.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I mean, I don't like Keen, but Under the Iron Seas album cover,
That's
sweet.
pretty good.
Yeah,
I
that's a really great cover.
But,
I think of
you know.
album covers that were. Okay, so a bad album cover to a really good album. This is gonna sound dumb, and I'll probably you guys disagree with me. But 59 Sound by the Gaslight Anthem, I hated that album cover.
Oh, I like that album.
I think they could have done something better with it.
I think it fits the sort of, I don't know, mid-century style that they were going for on that record. I think the cover for their first album, Sink or Swim, is pretty bad for as good of an album as that is. Oh, okay. How about The Second Law by Muse? Great album cover, really mediocre album.
It had its hits, but it wasn't that. It wasn't like an outstanding album.
Can't bring myself to care.
Now here's the real question: the Kanye album that was just like a piece of tape, taped like a
Over
blank
the cover?
CD case.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect. Yeah, because the album is so aggressive and obnoxious that I think going for the minimalist design, it's a nice, I guess, counter statement to what the album actually sounds like.
Have you seen the physical copy of it?
Yeah. And I've
Okay,
seen the
so-
vinyl copy, which is just a picture of the physical copy on a white background.
Oh, okay. So it's literally a picture of a disc with the tape on it, right?
Oh, no, there are versions that are just the disc, and then there's the tape around the
Just
outside.
the tape around the outside.
But like, if you went to like Best Buy, what version is there?
I think you still get... I think it's the clean versions that are a picture of the disc.
Oh, okay.
And the actual version is just like a clear jewel case.
So it's
I remember
it's a sticker, and it's like saran wrapped or whatever.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. There's nothing to it.
Yep. He is Jesus.
It's
I don't
certainly
know.
a
It's kind
statement.
of. Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, it's not great, but it's a good statement.
Yeah, it's a good statement, particularly for that particular
Oh,
album.
here we go. Here's the winner for like crap and crap.
Crap and crap.
Radiohead's Arrhythmic, is that what it is? Or Anemic?
Which one is it?
Their 2001 album.
Oh, Amnesiac?
Yeah, Amnesiac, that's what it is. It just crossed my mind. It has that stupid red front on it and that dumb picture.
It's a really boring album cover for Radiohead, I'll give it that. I like that record, but... Yeah, it's...
Guys, I think we're missing the real treasure. Nickelback's All the Right Reasons.
Ah, yes.
Oh, man.
Every Creed album cover, period.
Yep, that's true.
Arms Wide
Every
Open
Creed
probably
album.
would make it on that list, too, of crap and crap.
Ugh.
That's low hanging fruit. I'm sorry, everyone. We should really have higher standards for this
Yeah,
podcast.
I mean LMFAO covers were
Yeah.
always bad. Really?
Is that true?
Actually, no. You know what? I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna do it. Any screamo band from the mid to late 2000s.
No. You are not going to put Hawthorne Heights in that
I'm
category.
talking Hawthorne Heights. I wrestled a bear once. The number 12 looks like you. The design was bad. The music was bad, and there was way too much Bleeding Cowboys.
There was no Bleeding Cowboys in any of those albums. However,
Job for Cowboy.
Daughtry did have an album cover that featured the Bleeding Cowboys, which is the worst typeface, next to Papyrus and Comic Sans.
I have it on my machine purely to make fun of Tyler. It's really.
I downloaded it too. It's fine. Actually, I will say that a lot of the Hawthorne Heights albums, in particular, I was not attracted to visually, which is probably why I didn't like them.
I was never impressed with their designs.
I don't think Tool has good album covers either.
Really?
Yeah, you disagree with my 10,000 Days.
Same way with same way with. I think it's just A Perfect Circle. I don't like any of their album covers either. I don't think they're that good. They have good, like A Perfect Circle has really. I like their music a lot, but I'm just not a fan of their album covers. They're just.
So what we're trying to say here is that, based on our personal preferences, each one of us will have a different decision to make based on whether or not we will purchase an album, depending on the information we know about the artist going into making the purchase of the album.
That's part of it, and I think part of it is that, like we were talking about earlier, we have certain genre sensibilities built in.
Yeah.
Genres have their own visual language as well.
Okay, so was there any album covers that didn't make the list? Just one or two that you can think of if you have any that you want to see on the list.
Let me reopen the list.
I mean, there's like a bazillion, really.
It's okay if it's on there. If you just think there's one or two that like really stand out for you.
I mean, flipping through my iTunes, Strawberry Jam by Animal Collective is really sweet. The cover is photographs of strawberries smashed with like abstract painting like through and around them. I always really like that cover. I actually bought a physical copy just for the art.
Circus Survive has pretty consistently good art.
Yeah, Issa Andrews, shout out to him, even though he doesn't have any idea who we are. This is a pretty good artist, so I agree with you totally, Tyler. I think the Fatelli's album, Here We Stand, I like that album a lot.
It's a really underrated band, too.
Yeah.
Death Cab album covers are always really good, except for Codes and Keys, which is a bad album, so not much loss there.
I like the Dead Weathers covers, too.
Yeah, all that third band stuff is great. Like, all of their bands have a really strong aesthetic to them.
Mm-hmm. Trying to think if there's anything else. Classic albums that I think are really cool that might name.
I love the cover of In on the Kill Taker by Fugazi. Really powerful. Very obviously of its time, but still powerful.
I feel like Physical Graffiti is probably one of the worst Led Zeppelin album covers. I don't know why it's on this list. That's dumb.
Oh, no, I think Physical Graffiti's okay.
I'm saying the art for that album. Let's be real right now. It's
not
There's Exploding Zeppelin for their first album. How can you?
Yeah. Kanye's Graduation. That's the one with the little cartoon bear on the front.
Yeah.
Love that cover.
Let me see. I'm pulling it up again real quick just so I can scroll through and see what was on there.
So to reiterate,
LCD Sound Systems, This Is Happening. Why was that not on that list? I love that cover.
That's why, just because you love it, it wasn't like renownedly.
I mean, yeah, it's not like renowned, but it's just really simple and.
I don't think that Zeitgeist should have been on there.
What should have?
Zeitgeist by the Smashing Pumpkins.
Why didn't I pick Melancholy?
Yeah, that was much better. What was my favorite one on this list?
This is, by the way, the second worst podcast topic ever, album covers. The only thing worse than this is
Things you can't.
flags. If you want to hear people talk
Flags.
about flags on a podcast, the latest Hello Internet will be down in the doobly-doo.
Oh,
It's
the
all
Soul
about
Wax album
flags.
cover is really cool. When I haven't even heard of them, and when I scrolled over it, I was like, wow, that's cool.
Black Keys, Thick Freakness, one of my favorite album covers ever. All right, well, we should
Okay.
probably
I
move
think,
on
yeah,
from
we
this
can move
because, yeah, we're talking about things that people can't see, and I feel really
Yeah.
bad for them. There will be links in the description to some, but probably not all.
Next
of
to
these album
award
covers.
for best cinematography in a non-visual spectrum.
All right, so I guess we'll do my topic next, if you guys don't mind.
Oh no.
Go ahead.
I'm in your pocket.
Cool. Oh, thanks, Sean. Thanks. So, not a good segue here, but I want to talk about pockets. It's just kind of a weird non sequitur for this week. Read this article on the art of manliness this week. Kind of an interesting blog. And they were talking about the evolution of men's pockets, as well as women's handbags and things like that. And yeah, just like the different things they've been used for over time. And so I want to start, I guess, by asking the other two guys on the panelists and anybody playing along at home on Twitter, what do you guys carry in your pockets, typically?
All right, so front left is wallet, sometimes phone, depending.
You're a front carrier?
Yeah, and then
Oh.
back left is also phone, if I need it. And then right front
Oh.
is keys.
I forgot
And
you were
then right
left-handed.
back, huh?
I forgot that you were left-handed.
Yeah, I'm a freak. Don't you
Yeah,
forget.
wow,
Right.
that totally destroys everything I thought about pockets.
And then my back right is where I put my trash and like receipts and shit that I don't care about. That end up just getting thrown through the little washing machine anyway.
Interesting. So you have a pocket that's just for garbage that you don't want to carry around, but you carry
garbage
around
pocket.
anyway.
That's right.
Huh. Never thought of that. Sean, what do you carry in your pockets?
Wallet and phone. That's it.
Where?
For all you pickpockets out there that don't want to make any money, my wallet's in my back right pocket, and my phone is generally carried in my right front.
You don't carry keys in your pocket?
Nope. I put it on a carabiner and it sits on my belt loop.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Or when I'm at work, I put it in my locker because I don't like to see it on my suit. So that's
Yeah,
it.
I do phone in the front right, wallet in the back right, and keys in the front left. And I don't use the back left for anything.
Me neither.
Whoa, you guys are freaks. I can't believe you carry stuff in your right pocket.
Whatever.
Us right-handers.
But I think it's interesting that people get so into talking about pocket structure and like how they carry things. So much so that there's like a whole movement of blogs and subreddits about what things people carry every day. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Is it weird to like get into the things you carry every day?
Real quick, Catherine, small 5-tool Swiss Army knife, Burt's Bees chapstick, and phone.
No keys in Catherine's pockets, but she probably
No, she's
carries
got purse. Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of knives and pockets, so it wasn't really so much that I was like in the everydaycarry.com thing. It wasn't so much that I was surprised at like what people were carrying, because I know a lot of people have pocket knives and multi-tools and stuff, but it was like the prevalence of everybody on that blog having the same things. Like everybody had their stupid little journal, everybody had their little pocket knife, everybody had their adorable little pen. I was just thinking, like, are the people on this blog just like so deeply profound they have to write down everything that they see? Like, just not like, I don't know, maybe it's just my hipster minimalist coming out, post-cool minimalist coming out, where
There you go.
I'm just like, why do you need to have all that stuff? I mean, come on. I don't understand why you need to have. There was people in there that had like multiple pocket knives. I'm thinking like, why do you need multiple pocket knives? What do you do?
To kill
Yeah,
people.
that's. I mean, that is
Um,
part of it. Some people are carrying these knives for protection or self-defense or whatever.
Where do you live?
Hell.
I don't know.
Bearganistan, where bears are everywhere and they're attacking you all the time. Like I don't. This is, it's just like preposterous. Come on.
I'm with you though. I'm a very minimalist carry type of person. Like my phone can do pretty much everything that I ever need to do in life. And so why would I carry anything else? You
So,
know? I keep my headphones and a knife in my bag that is usually like in my car or something.
mhm.
I don't need to have those on my person all day. It's not worth it.
Unless you're just constantly tangled up in a web of rope or something, or God, I don't know.
You
So,
just
My
walk
life,
into
my
ropes.
life is so white bread. I don't do anything exciting. Like I wake up in the morning, I'm like, I got my wallet, and I got my phone. Okay, that's it. You know, like I won't get in trouble. Uh, I don't know. That's just
if
what am I
Ava was to
doing?
peer into the life of someone from Ohio,
What am I doing wrong? What am I doing
nothing
right?
bad happens ever. Knock on wood, fingers crossed.
Right. So I don't know. Oh, and the journals. I don't know why that just had a thing with me too. This is like a long rant for me. I was just thinking, why do you have journals? What are you writing down? What are you writing down all the time? You can't write down on your phone or text yourself or does
Your
it?
best ideas are when you least expect them, Sean. You have to have something available at all times.
Oh, okay. I mean, I
Yeah,
have a
a
notebook.
supercomputer in your
Right.
pocket.
I have a notebook that I keep, like, I wrote down measurements for suits and stuff in, and I keep it in my pocket when I go to work. So if I'm back in a fitting room helping a customer, I know the sizes offhand. I don't have to go run to the other side of the store to look. But I don't, like, write down, like, oh, deep thought, blah, 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 because I don't have that many. It's the truth.
Yeah, Drew always used to do that.
That's why I'm Giggle Party and not Deep Thought or something like that.
Yeah, Drew always kept like jokes and deep thoughts and weird things in a book that he called his butt book because he carried it in his back pocket all the time. I don't know if he
Good.
still does that, but
Good.
like, I don't know. It just never seemed like a practice that I could keep up with. I'm like Sean, I don't have that many deep thoughts, and if I do, that's what I have a phone for. Tyler, what do you think?
Deep
But
Thoughts?
but some people. I mean, there's the idea of being able to draw, to write something a certain way.
Mm.
Also, just the feeling of writing helps you remember things better. There's lots of practical applications of a little book that I think we're ignoring. You could want to sketch something. So,
Well, no, I mean, I understand. If that's what you like to do, I don't mean to hate on it.
right.
But it was just like the context of what else they had, and then the notebook. I don't know. Maybe this is just my insecurities coming out. That's probably what it is. I'll just blame it on that.
No, I mean they did. They have like survivalist tools and then like a notebook.
30 feet of
It's like a weird
parachute cord.
combination.
Notebook. Okay. Henry David Thoreau. Every single one of them. They're just.
Mm-hmm.
Going out to the woods, drinking a smoothie.
Right.
That's right. Them
Parachuting
smoothies in the
off
wood.
of buildings into the smoothie place with homemade parachutes made out of hotel sheets and whatnot. Aha! So actually, what's going on is there's
Got 'em.
this like we discovered the secret urban superhero forum called Everyday Carry of everyday Batman-esque people that have utility pockets. The belt is old-fashioned, guys, just so you know.
Yeah,
Nobody
this
wears
is why
belts.
cargo pants are coming back in style, so that all of these action heroes can fit all this crap in their pockets.
What the fuck are we talking about?
Okay, so let's talk then about the history stuff, where they talk about pockets being sewn on the insides of clothes and on the outsides of clothes, and weird things about suits being more or less formal based on the number of pockets they have. this was all stuff that I was like marginally aware of for a really long time, but never really thought about. Like, oh, the difference between a sport coat and a suit jacket is the way the pockets are shaped. Weird, random trivia facts. I don't know.
Along when there's also like differences between materials and different pockets on different jackets. Because suit jackets can have ticket pockets.
Interesting. I didn't realize anything still had a ticket pocket anymore.
Yeah, and it's not a big feature, but I actually look for it because I like it a lot. I think it's a neat feature that they put on pockets sometimes.
Huh. Interesting. So, are you guys like, I don't know, pockets seem to be this thing with men where like, because we don't carry purses, we're very picky about our pockets and the way we carry things in pockets. That's why I asked you guys what you carry. Do you look at the way the pockets are structured on something before you buy it?
No.
Okay, raise your hand if you have a smartphone that's bigger than 6 inches tall.
Right, I think that's just
Probably,
you and me, Sean.
Okay, Tyler. I wasn't sure if you had an iPhone 6. Like that's what I pay attention for when I try on jeans. I want to make sure that my phone can fit in my pocket. Because I have a couple pairs of Levi's that they have these little tiny pockets that I can't fit my phone into, and it looks really silly.
I've had
What a
that problem with
strange
other
time we
things
live
with
in.
Levi's too, where like the way the pockets are shaped, my keys will slide out of the pockets when I sit down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's something I'm really picky about, and I wasn't sure if it was just like me being too picky, or like an aesthetic thing, or a functional thing, or what it was.
I find it interesting that our phones are now larger than the size of most ancient cell phones. It's a little messed up.
Ancient cell phones? You mean briefcase cell phones? That were
No.
literally the size of a
trying-
briefcase?
Well, yes, there's that, but I'm talking like the Nokia snake phones.
Oh. I thought you were gonna say like carrier pigeon. I was like, yeah.
iPhone 6. It's roughly the size of a carrier pigeon.
Just right. That's what they're using those notebooks for. They all have carrier pigeons. They're all like writing down little notes like, "Fly pigeons, fly," and they're like going around the city diving carrier.
Invite my friends to coffee with me. I must gather a party to go to brunch.
Tyler, you're not amused by this topic. Why not?
No, it's to send letters to your enemies so that you can wed your former sister's wife's husband's daughter to them so that you can form a power couple so that you can control the north of Westeros and
That's what this
take
really
back the
is.
Iron Throne!
This is all just Game of Thrones-esque romance-based politicking.
Those
I'm
ravens
glad
have
we
3
figured it
eyes.
out.
It's fucking sweet.
Anything else on pockets, things we carry in them, things that you carry every day? I don't know.
I use my car as a giant pocket.
There you go.
I don't keep anything in my car. Nothing at all.
Not even an umbrella.
I
Nope,
have
not
a
even an umbrella.
purse, basically,
Oh, there you go.
that I pretty much like. Beep. And
Like a glove. Wait, that was magic. How did you do that? Wait. An iPad went in and a water bottle came out? Wait a second. What do you have in your bag? Let's do this. Let's do this live. Live unbagging.
all right, sketchbook. These are my pens.
The poor
I'm
people in the
iPad.
audio podcast.
Yeah, sorry everyone.
If
I have
you
my
are listening to
sketchbook.
the audio podcast, please tweet some hate at Tyler for making us do this to you.
I have Miralax for my poopy problems.
This is
I
not
have
for
floor
real.
medicine for my poopy problems. Yay! And then I have like cables and shit, like headphones and there's a giant mass of cords. Because there's always a rat king of cords in any bag. Let's be honest.
No, that's not true.
Um,
I keep my cords very nicely organized because I hate rat's nests of cords. It's like my number
Taylor,
one
why
pet
would
peeve.
you just use Rat King as the reference? You'd rather have a bunch of dead rats and poop stuffed together in a giant abomination of filth. No, just rat nest. Rat king.
Regardless, I keep my cables very organized for that very reason. Come at me, bro.
Stop making me a Google party.
Sorry, that was my derail for this episode. Sorry, everyone.
Okay.
That was a real honest moment, though.
It was. We just
I like
got
that.
so much authenticity cred right there.
Mm. Let's put a filter on this podcast right now.
Oh, which filter should we put on it?
Chicken.
Sedona?
Chicken flavored.
Chicken flavor.
Chicken flavored.
All right. Let's turn everything to sepia tone
Let's
and
go to the Colonel.
fry up some chicken because Tyler wants to talk about the Return of the Colonel.
That's right. All right, everybody. So KFC made an announcement revealing that they're going to bring Colonel Sanders back as the character, a real-life character, instead of the cartoon character. They decided to hire Daryl Heyman, an SNL actor, which I really know nothing about, but Taylor probably does. I presume.
Yeah, he was an okay cast member.
Yeah, I presume he's good at what he does. I think he does a pretty good job, Colonel Sanders. But anyway, so along with that, also McDonald's brought back the Hamburglar. For some reason, it decided to give him an edgy, modern update, and now he's a dad.
Yeah, edgy
And he's a
is the
family.
word.
Now he's the hand creepler. This is the weirdest dude.
So he steals hamburgers, and he's a dad. He has a family. So, that being said, how does resurrecting these characters make you feel? Does bringing a legitimate actor on create authenticity to the character and brand? Does updating a character that is over 13 years old, sour the nostalgia it could have produced? So basically what I'm trying to say is, they brought a real actor, like a real person, someone that probably sort of well known, Daryl Hammond, to play Colonel Sanders. How do you feel about that?
Okay, so last night I was watching stand-up specials, and I watched Dana Carvey, who played a bunch of political people during his time on SNL. And of course, there was a stretch in the show where he did impressions of all those people. George H.W. Bush, George W. Bush, Al Gore, all of these people. When I watched Daryl Hammond as Colonel Sanders, it seems like the most thinly veiled George W. Bush joke I've ever seen. He even does the little George Bush laugh at the ends of sentences. And I'm just like, how? How did this make this past so many committees? He's got white hair, he's from the South, and he laughs at all of his own jokes. It's basically, we've passed 8 years, we can use George Bush's image to sell chicken.
What?
You took that to a place I never even got to.
Go back and watch it. That's what it looks like. It looks like an SNL impression of George W. Bush playing Colonel Sanders.
Okay, so what you're saying is, in normal circumstances, someone who is a presumably good actor, performing the role of a branded character would create a positive benefit, but because he clearly has stolen some other cues from a different character, you're saying that it doesn't feel as authentic.
I'm not saying it doesn't feel authentic. I'm saying it feels like it's making fun of itself.
Well, I definitely think it's making fun of itself.
I just don't
for
think
sure.
it's the image they were looking for. It seems overly, like, I don't know, satirical.
I think it was just the image that I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was just what they were going for. They're trying to like capitalize on our generation, particularly our demographic that likes humor, that can watch these commercials and have a good laugh because we remember laughing and stuff like that. And I did want chicken after I watched it, and I thought it was really funny too. Like just the fact, like how stereotypical they make the Colonel. I don't know if there was a couple other commercials. I don't know if you guys saw the play one. Did you watch that one, Tyler?
Yep.
Okay. Did you watch the one with the mandolin?
I did like the one with the mandolin.
Okay, that was my favorite. I don't know. No, my favorite was definitely the one where he's walking through the city and he's got the song. Even though that made me terribly depressed because he only walked 100 yards and wasn't out of breath. I think you should definitely walk more than 100 yards without being out of breath. But, you know, you're the colonel, so
He
who am I
eats
to
a lot of
judge?
fried chicken, Sean.
Yeah. But I don't know. I like the nostalgia. I think that's what kind of made me laugh a little bit because you can look back at the colonel and how ridiculous it was that there was this Kentucky man on television with a all-white suit and this silly little tie, and he was like, I started this chicken thing and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. I guess nothing's sacred anymore, so I guess I thought it was fun.
So what you're saying is that this is sort of like going in the almost Taco Bell kind of route, where it's like it's sort of over the top, ridiculous, because that's sort of like the crowd they're trying to draw in.
Oh, I don't know if it's the same though. Like I think Taco Bell's vibe was like be a radical and be different and like capitalizing on the disconnect between like the old ways and the new ways. And I think that KFC is trying to like take the old ways and make them funny and kind of capitalize on them and making them like again something that everybody can connect with.
So what you're saying, it's like taking two chicken patties and making a sandwich out of it.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much exactly
That's what I'm saying. It's all about that double.
But I don't think they want to separate that. I don't think KFC is like, we're the different chicken place. I think KFC's whole thing is kind of like, you know, kitchen fresh chicken and coming in and having a good meal and coming and getting a bucket of food and sitting around the table with the family. It's like Burger Chef.
I knew you were
know,
going to go there. I was
like,
about to say.
But Taco Bell is definitely
Peggy,
like.
I want you to write this ad for mothers who just don't have time to cook dinner anymore.
Right. But I feel like Taco Bell is very much like, you know, be your own individual, come in and get your own stuffed Frito burrito nacho, quesadilla, Rito, ice cream taco thing that you don't have to share. It's your own little thing. But KFC's like, come in and have a family time and, you know, get a bucket of something, meet a friend.
Well, right. That's sort of, I mean, you're correct. Obviously, they're different. But what I was kind of more trying to say was, it feels like McDonald's is very, well, aside from, you know, what we're about to talk about, but McDonald's and sort of like, well, no, Burger King, okay. So, typically the way that you market things, I feel like in some food aspects, maybe like Applebee's or something, you know, it's very serious, or it's not necessarily serious, but it's like has a very like family-friendly tone. It's very like non-intrusive. It just seems, you know, it's hey, just come on down and get yourself some food. But like now, KFC is kind of like trying to take this funnier route, trying to be more comical,
Right.
trying to do more interesting branding, kind of trying to like, you know, fight with, you know, Taco Bell, Burger King a little bit with their kooky branding and stuff. You know, I can't believe they use kooky as a descriptive word. I'm sorry, everyone.
No, I think you're right. The articles we read that'll be linked down in the description, they talk about KFC being perpetually like the third place fast food, or the fourth place fast food, or whatever. I think, yeah, that's probably a conscious choice, is let's go the kooky route and see if that does any better for us.
But I don't think that KFC's in a brand crisis right now. Like McDonald's is in a brand crisis. Like they're closing all these stores, their stock price is dropping like dramatically. They're trying to figure out like what they can do. They just closed a bunch, like what, 3,000 places or something. We're talking about McDonald's here. Like,
well, that's probably what KFC is trying to capitalize on. They want to swoop in and take all those customers.
And so they brought back the Hamburglar.
I mean, but what is Subway gonna do? Bring back Jared?
Yeah, he's still there. He's still hanging out.
He is still hanging out. You just don't see him very much.
Okay.
What you don't realize is that by getting healthy, he started a lifetime contract where he just gets peddled out anytime sales get below a different number. They're using
Just
the
like
same
Ford
before photo
Geico
every time.
God rest his soul. That guy's never gonna die.
Who
That
was
Geico
that?
Gecko.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh, we gotta come up with something new and crazy. Shit.
Well, they had the pig for a while. The pig was kind of funny.
No.
Then their Hump Day ad that got lots of laughs.
They're still selling insurance, and none of those things have anything to do with insurance.
That's right. Listen, if GoDaddy can still be sexy, Geico can still have a gecko just do random things for like a minute.
He's got a cute accent though.
So, the Hamburglar.
So the Hamburglar was brought back and given a new adult flair, as I said.
It's very adult. The adultest of flares.
He's a quote unquote sexy dad now. So also Macklemore look-alike. He
He's
has
like
his own,
Macklemore plus dad bod equals creepy new Hamburglar.
and he has his own Twitter hashtag, RobbleRobble. Whatever that means.
So Robble Robble is what the cartoon Hamburglar used to say.
Oh, really? Well, I'm dumb. So how do you feel about that? Do you feel like his coolification has soured your impression of the Hamburglar? Do you even care about the Hamburglar?
Can you
Who
tell?
cares?
Can you tell how much his coolification has soured my feelings about him? I didn't care about him before. Now I actively dislike the Hamburglar.
Now
He
he's
is-
creepy.
Yeah,
He used to be kind of like a playful scamp, you know. He just wanted your burgers, and he had a cape, but now he's like your neighbor, and with the privacy fence and the kids could possibly be doing something gross with a bunch of burgers.
Are those his
Family goes
kids?
to bed.
Is that his family?
Yeah. Ooh, a good point.
We don't know. He looks like the kind of guy that like sits at the table next to the play place, even though he doesn't have any kids with him at McDonald's. That's what this guy looks like.
It's just like feeding the ducks. What's wrong with that?
No. It is not just like feeding the ducks.
Just gonna toss fries to them.
That was so dark. That was.
I went there. I really think that's what he looks like.
Why didn't they bring back Grimace though? Out of all the characters to bring back.
Why isn't he
Hamburglar.
sexy? What's
I can
going
tell you
on?
exactly why they didn't bring back Grimace.
Why? Because he's a big chicken nugget that's purple with a little cute little belly.
That's why. The obesity thing. Grimace
You
is
just make him
fat.
sexy.
That's what he looks like.
You just make him a girl in a purple outfit. She's
Paint
got a
abs on him.
purple onesie.
He's just a big purple blob with abs.
Yeah.
I mean, it can't be worse than the current Hamburglar. It really can't.
Well, didn't they have another one? Didn't they have a girl mascot? It was like Ronald the Hamburglar,
No?
Grimace, and then there was
Yeah, there was like a bird. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there
yeah.
was.
I don't remember who the bird was. What was the bird's name?
I'll look it up. I don't know, Tyler, what did you think of the Hamburglar? You've been kind of quiet on this subject.
Stephen
I mean,
Bogart in it.
I don't think you could have brought back the Hamburglar without bringing the band back. You know, you gotta bring back the whole group, like Mayor McCheese. Where's he at?
Oh, I
Why isn't he
forgot
sexy?
about Mayor McCheese.
Mayor McCheese was so great!
You know,
That could be their competitive rival to the to the Colonel.
Mayor McCheese?
Like,
Does that
like,
make sense?
like Mayor
Yeah.
McCheese and the Colonel have a runoff or something, you know, for obesity in Iowa or something like that.
There you go.
See who wins.
Um,
Straw poll.
Yeah, so, Tyler, that was Birdie the Early Bird.
there
Was
you
the
go.
name of that character.
She probably
breakfast.
sponsors breakfast.
Yeah.
Circular
Also,
breakfast.
in the cartoon show, Ronald McDonald's dog, Sunday, was played by Vern Troyer, who went on to play Mini-Me.
Oh my.
So, you know, random trivia.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh dear.
The more you know.
Yeah. I think just gonna bring the whole gang back. They need to bring the whole band,
Yeah.
and they need to do it right. They could have animated them. They don't have to be people in suits. That's fine.
Yeah.
They could have just been little cartoon characters. Or they make them all incredibly sexy, and it's just a weird dystopian like mishmash, and it goes down terribly, and McDonald's goes out in flames. You know, those are the two directions I want them to go in, and
They should do a stereotypical anime style McDonald's commercial with the gang, and they're like going to get burgers or something, and it's done like real cornily where it doesn't sync up with the mouths and stuff.
And then turn to giant robots and go Super Saiyan. There you go,
Right.
perfect.
There you go. It sounds great. I'm on board.
Dragon Ball cheese.
Done.
Oh.
I'm already on board.
That's
Anyway,
the
all right, so we've had enough derailing. Now to get into the critical analysis. All right, so we've been seeing retro updates of characters for like the past maybe like 10 years. How do you feel about like Mountain Dew pulling back designs from maybe like the 50s or like let's see what's another example?
Well, they do like
Yeah.
a Pepsi throwback every year.
Yeah.
Oh, Coors has the little bottles now with the original like bottle logo on it.
Mhm.
It's like pretty big in alcohol right now too.
You know,
And how does that make you feel? I mean, is it nice to sort of like disrupt the design space? Does it make it pop out, or is it like, oh, this feels weird? I don't like this. It makes it feel gross.
I like it. I think a lot of it is probably riding on the heels of Mad Men and this like nostalgia revival, where it
Mhm.
seems like in the 2000s we were so obsessed with everything being shiny and new. Now we can like take a break for a little while and think about how beautiful things were in the 50s and 60s, except that they actually weren't.
Hey, the world almost ended. Okay.
Whoa. I don't know if that's true.
Well, I mean, that's the whole ethos of Mad Men, anyways. Like, look at how beautiful all of these sets and costumes and characters are, but they all are undergoing extensive existential crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and rampant sexism, I assume.
Right, of course, yes. I think it's kind of nice to have those little moments in the grocery store. I don't know.
Part of me thinks it's just a marketing ploy.
Oh, it totally is.
Like it's like if you do a limited something, I hate that. That's just like the most cliche thing to do now. Like limited time only, Mountain Dew, blah 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 blah, and then it's like, okay, like whatever. We'll
And
just
then it's back the next summer for a limited time again.
right. It's just I'm so tired of limited time stuff. It just
Mm-hmm.
it's not even. Or when the limited time stuff that is like really scary, like when Mountain Dew and Pepsi redid their, like we're doing it with cane sugar, with real sugar, and I'm thinking like there wasn't real sugar in this the rest of the time. What was in it before?
Corn syrup.
There you go.
So I think they kind of out themselves there, but
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was like in the mid-2000s when McDonald's was pumping about how chicken nuggets now had all white meat.
white meat,
Yeah, and everyone was like, wait, what was in them before?
the goop,
That's right. Goopy goop.
and they had to do that whole PSA about how they don't put goop in their nuggets. We
Wait,
don't
is goop
goop.
actually a real thing?
Yeah, they called it was like pink goop or pink goop.
Yeah, it was some
What?
weird thing
Goop.
like that.
And they did this whole PSA where they showed like, this is how we actually make our nuggets, and we don't use this. It was pretty gross. The video, the original video clip, it was just like this 3-inch diameter like tube, looked like sausage without a casing, but it was like salmon pink coming out of an extruder and going into this big bucket. And it was like, this is what McNuggets are. I mean, it's probably still what McNuggets are, but
Right. So I was gonna say, do they not do that anymore?
I mean, it's any processed food that you get from that place is ground up whatever. So.
Mm.
I don't want to know.
Right. Okay. So, and the last sort of point I want to kind of bring up. So I guess we're kind of split on how we feel about retro rebrands. Taylor, a little more positive. Sean a little more negative. I kind of like the rebrands, but what's going to happen when there's nothing left to bring back? Due to our postmodern society, we're just like, let's just pull things from the past times, the infinite void that is the past times, and just bring it into now and try to make it feel new again. Like, are we just going to keep experiencing the same things every, 20 years? Are we going to have the god-awful, Pepsi, super, graphics everywhere, shiny 3D modeled, faux, technology applied to, their bottles from, the early 2000s?
Also, there's your air horn noise if you're playing along on Dudes
There
Bingo. I think so. I do. I think these cycles just repeat themselves. It's the same way in music. We spend a few years getting really synthy, and then we spend a few years going back to roots guitar and plain rock and roll, and then it just does the same thing again. I think branding is kind of similar.
It's just interesting because it's for, let's just say, in the modern era, which is maybe the 40s and up, that's a bit of a guess, but you know what I mean. We've been pulling things from that point on, so it almost feels like we've almost sort of excavated all of these sort of artifacts of our past, but when it went I don't know, it feels like when
do we run out of things?
Yeah. I mean, does it not matter because the people have already experienced those things die?
Well, I just think this is an interesting question because a lot of the companies that we talked about here are legacy brands.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking international legacy brands that seem to do this. And part of me wonders if something were to happen if these were to go on the decline and we were supposed to see, let's just say a new company like Shake Shack or Chipotle was to make it to one of these statuses. I mean, Chipotle doesn't have a logo, do they? I mean, they don't have a cartoon character mascot. And I think I don't know. That's why I don't see this as being I don't. It might not be a huge problem because if things are changing and progressing the way that they are, Coke will always as Coca-Cola the company will always own that particular color of red, and so they'll always have that branded with their product, and we've come to realize that. But I mean, I can't see the Colonel Sanders being Chipotle burritos. He.
Right.
So.
But it just feels like it's almost because we have had people and still have people that have lived within the time frame that we basically would consider sort of this modern area that I've established.
Mm-hmm.
They're sort of serving as examples of those styles.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happens when that
I was just
trails
thinking
up?
about something else regarding this, right? So you're talking about the modern condition and the modern mindset where these things all progress, whereas as compared to postmodernism, where we can kind of pick and choose things.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm almost wondering is, kind of like Sean's saying, certain spaces are just going to have their own individual aesthetics. So you go into a Chipotle and it's always going to be industrial.
Mm-hmm.
To a certain extent,
but
as opposed to
always
going
have
into a
the brand
Starbucks.
of no GMOs and the healthier fast food option.
Right. Whereas if you go into a Jamba Juice, everything is orange and green and very friendly. Or if you go into a Starbucks, there's lots of earth tones.
Mm-hmm. That's what makes me think. Part of me wonders if these brands will be on the decline because I think, these companies that our parents grew up with, these bigger companies, the brands that they're attached to, I think our generation has formed new bonds to new brands that will kind of be attached to, and a lot of them don't seem to have that, the graphic is the logo, the Apple, or the Starbucks mermaid, or the Chipotle pepper or something, more so than like the Chipotle dancing burrito man, or like the iWatch that does something, or the mermaid that is weird looking and has two fins on the Starbucks logo or something.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I think people don't need that like kids mascot anymore. I think kids are more susceptible to logos than they were. But I think these companies are also like committing to an aesthetic rather than adapting by the decade in the ways that we saw McDonald's. Like, think about how many times they've redone the interior of your local McDonald's since we've been alive, even.
Think about how many Taco Bells they've destroyed.
And rebuilt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they haven't destroyed or rebuilt a Starbucks.
Let them live. Let
Yeah.
Or like, what about White Castle? White Castle is as old as these brands, but every White Castle looks roughly the same, and they don't destroy a White Castle to build a new one that looks trendier.
Well, that's because White Castle.
That's true. White Castle is like third tier water boy of fast food.
Wait a second.
What does that
Speaking
make
of that,
Skyline?
remember when Colonel Sanders was in the Adam Sandler movie?
Yeah.
Wait, which one was that?
I think it was Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
No. It was Waterboy, wasn't it?
Was
When he
it?
played football for the Florida State Gators or whatever.
Shit.
I don't even
I
know
just had-
where we're
I-
going right now.
It doesn't matter. I just remember that. I derailed it.
All right, well, we're running out of time, so anything else on Colonel Sanders' Hamburglar fast food aesthetics?
Good topic, Tyler. Please watch those commercials. You will laugh, and they're hilarious.
They'll be linked below.
Yeah, it was a great topic.
Cool. Well,
I look
then,
forward to talking about this all week.
if anybody wants to tweet in any last-minute things to get into the show, you should do that now. And we're going to do some shameless plugs. Here we go. Let's start with Sean.
Oh, didn't do much this week on anything because I'm listening to an audiobook right now, and I don't know if I live stream my drives, if it will be some kind of copyright infringement. So I have been doing that lately.
What are you listening to?
Capital by Thomas Piketty. He's a French economist. It's a very academic book. But it's pretty good.
Glad that
Talks
you're
about
not letting your brain rot while you work at a suit store. It's
Yeah.
good.
No, it's good. It's good. It's just really academic. Other than that, this week I've been listening to a couple of good bands. One of them is called Wolf Alice. You should check them out. They're really good. I'm really digging their album. It's going to come out here pretty soon.
You should
This
add
goes
that
to
to the
our
Spotify playlist.
SoundCloud. Yeah, our SoundCloud thing.
Spotify.
Yeah, but I mean like promoting bands thing.
Oh, gotcha. Right.
I'm trying to think what else. Other than that, nothing's really going on. Hit me up on Twitter, the Facebooks, Tumblr, wherever you can find me, at Evans_M Urge with a U, no E.
Cool. Tyler, plugs on your end.
All right. TylerDreed.com. Find my designs. Please hire me. Please. That's all I want. Otherwise, you can find me at TDR Design. I'm working on a sort of like a new or an update of the branding for Dude's Brunch. Not like a huge overhaul, just a slight update. Working on my lettering, my hand lettering, to get better, like sort of writing out the human language, because that's really important for doing gig posters and stuff like that, which I'm really interested in doing, which you'd also hire me for. Hit me up, TR Design, or TylerDreed.com, forever.
Cool. Shameless plugs from me this week. Follow me on Twitter at TC Olmstead. Doing a lot of sassy tweets this week. I said last week that I was going to step up my Instagram game, and then I went camping this weekend, and I was in some beautiful country, and I took no photos. at all, and it was great. I really unplugged for like 48 hours. It was really nice. I don't know if I'm going to Instagram this week. Don't bother following me on Instagram. Just follow me on Twitter. I do want to shameless plug another podcast, though. I want to plug the Mortified podcast, which Sean has just informed me there's actually a documentary surrounding, which is on Netflix as well. The basic premise is it's adults reading things that they wrote as kids in front of a live audience, and it is the most fun way you will spend 20 minutes of your Monday. New episodes go up every Monday on the audio podcast, and they are not safe for work. So use headphones or listen to them in private, for sure.
Or if you just have a really cool workplace.
I don't think these are even safe for your work, Tyler. They're pretty raunchy.
Oh, no, I wasn't in my work, but I was, had a real job.
Right. So that's all for this week's edition of Dudes Brunch. Please tweet at Dudes Brunch. Give us a review on iTunes if you like the show. Or, just tell random strangers on the street to look up Dudes Brunch, and they'll probably find us. It's a pretty weird name. Thanks for hanging out, everybody, and we'll see you next week for episode 14. Bye-bye.
Smooches.